I was running the Economy League of Greater Philadelphia, which is a think and do tank, and saw that we had a problem. Nobody was really focusing on those folks who had started college but not finished.
So I was at the Workforce Investment Board, and I was looking at data about customers who were struggling in the job market and realized that there was a pretty substantial percentage of them who said they had at least some college. We saw an opportunity. What might it look like in order to help adults come back to college? And we had about a dozen higher ed partners who came together with us and co-designed the Graduate model, which is what's happening in Philadelphia, and reached out and got our first tranche of funding from the Knight Foundation.
Once we had sort of locked in what this model might look like, then there was a question of like, how could we bring in partners that would invest in it?
In 2005, the board of directors of United Way, which was comprised primarily of corporate leaders in the city, we were only going to invest our money in organizations that had proven that they work, as opposed to just doing good work. Graduate fit perfectly for what we called our agenda for community solutions. Graduate's one of the few solutions that's still here.
A principal figure in this whole launch was Hadass Sheffer.
Hadass was the one who took these ideas and tolerated all of these random brainstorming sessions and made it into something. She did the research and was the primary author of the first report. We would not be sitting here today if it were not for her.
The hard work of not only Malik, but his staff has just been phenomenal. I think as we partnered, we were able to get a lot of folks to not just recognize Graduate Philadelphia, but understand the importance of it and what we could do for people. The fact that we expanded not just from adult learning, but into also adult training, I think that's key to few interest. We have a board that believes in Graduate Philadelphia. Subsequently, I think the funders believe in it because of that.
The wonderful vision that they have, this type of community and culture that's open, transparent, flexible, adaptive.
To see today, as we're really focused on pushing the expertise of Graduate and touching more Philadelphians and touching more learners, I can see us truly being a collaboration hub across workforce development entities across the city, helping to serve those who need the most resourcing, being an anchor in this city around growth for people and opportunities and access in ways that are sorely needed.
So in the early 90s, Pierce had made a shift to focus on the non-traditional older working adult student. And we were finding our way through that in terms of how to access the market, how to service those students, how to make them successful. So Graduate Philadelphia became a natural partner for us. We got more than we bargained for. Graduate Philadelphia and Hadass and her team brought a lot of that knowledge and skill and strategic approach to what we were doing and made us stronger at Pierce in terms of not only bringing the students into Pierce, but getting them to the finish line and making them successful.
I'm with the Commerce Department. The Commerce Department had funded Graduate Philadelphia and a few other organizations that were known as the Talent Collaborative for years. So they were pretty well established when I came on board. And being with the City and Commerce, we provided funding every year to them. But as a member of their advisory board, I was kind of a friendly advisor. I didn't have a voting voice, but I was able to sit on the board, support them, give advice, give my perspective, not only as the leader of the department that funded them, but also as a funder.
This graduate network, they were looking to build communities of partnership in various cities around the country to provide a relatively smooth transition for adult comebackers who wanted to complete their degree. They were calling that program the Talent Hub. Philadelphia put together a proposal under the auspices of Graduate Philadelphia. It involved Temple. One of the things we had been working on for a number of years at Temple, we were working on a Bachelor of General Studies degree, which was specifically designed for adult comebackers.
I was the Deputy Director and Research Director of the Economy League, and we were in the midst of doing an extensive amount of research on what we called Greater Philadelphia's knowledge industry, which was its collection of colleges and universities and the impact that it had on our local economy. The real difference that we could make was looking at folks who had started college and never finished, or who had some educational background, who were living in our region, and if they could get additional educational opportunities, increase their educational attainment, they would increase their economic opportunity.
There are simply too few places that are actually focusing on the system and rather just providing a bunch of programs in hopes that these big societal changes will happen. Graduate Philly has taken the bold approach to say that's not acceptable enough. We need to do both. We need to provide programs, provide resources to people, and redesign the system as we go along. And I think that's why it's so easy for national foundations and certainly national groups like Civic Lab to continue to invest and be part of the Graduate Philadelphia story. You know, you have to look for places that have strong leadership, a clear focus, and real and authentic engagement with partners. Graduate Philly has that in tenfold quite easily. And we are really proud to be Graduate Philadelphia's partner. We have the honor of bestowing the Talent Hub designation in 2017 on the community, on the partnership, and we are truly excited to see where the next 20 years goes.
Welcome to Graduate Philadelphia.
Over the last 4.5 years, it's been a labor of love. We started with an employee of 1, and we've grown our organization to almost 14 employees.
Now we can set our sights on what our North Star is. We want to replicate what we've done in North Philadelphia. Begin to really triple down on financial literacy. We want to continue to build the bridge between our college and university partners and our workforce development partners. And I would say lastly, the work with employers is going to be critically important. What happens beyond my tenure? I would love to have a shovel project where we have what I'm calling a really integrated learning campus. Similar to a college or university, we would have adult learners, we would have employers, we would have workforce development providers, we would have funders and philanthropists, all coming to this innovation lab, this innovation campus. That's probably for the next CEO, but I hope that we can plant the seeds of that now.